Yep. Ooh, I forgot about that. Come on now. Everybody say no. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at BTS's track entitled No. We have a comeback trailer, we have a music video, a dance practice, and a music video behind the scenes. We're giving all the love to this track. I have not seen this one in a very long time. Most of their earlier era works I have had the privilege of seeing way back when they came out, so I'm very excited to revisit it from an analytical point of view in this position. So without further ado, let's get started.
Nothing lasts forever.
Nothing lasts forever.
You only live once. So, live your life, not any other's lives. Take chances and never regret. Never. Never be late to do what you want to do right now. Because at one point of someday, everything you did will be exactly what you will be, right?
Look at how realistic this glass looks. Spicy stuff, guys. Wow, are you late too? Come on now. All right, here we go. No, I'm there. So excited. I remember this. Sorry. Oh, so good. So good. The eyeliner on the waterline in the bottom. Killing it. Don't eat the pill. Don't do it. Here we go. RM got his eyeballs showing and no. Look at that. Look at that. Man. Oh, he's getting antsy. Ooh, get him. Ooh. Doesn't SUGA's hairstyle remind you of like a rich Ajuma from like a 2009 K-drama? And beat him up. Everybody say no. Come on. And oh, we getting violent. Beat him up, boys. Get him. Everybody say no. Oh. Oh, look, he's scared. Oh, come on now. Yep. I really like his sunglasses. I don't know why. When I'm listening to these songs, it's just getting me all hype. But part of it's like, I know they were trying so hard to be like, to go hard. We can't feel that way as we watch it though, right? No! 안돼! We roll! I love the message of this song a lot. We roll, we roll, we roll. Oh, here we go. Got the dance break. Oh. Boom. Hey, hey, hey. Oh. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to say yeah. We're supposed to say no. No. Parkour. Doing a little 540. Oh. Wow. That was awesome. It was right there in the feels. Okay. Yes, we have the dance practice. Yes, it's right here. Hood by Air coming in hot. We got some Stussy integrated now. Yeah. We're out here again. And I love how you see somebody over in the corner watching. Wow. Yes. Yeah. Nice. Yep. Yes, sir. And they sunk into it. Gee. Say no. Yeah. This is also the era of Jimin's biceps, isn't it? Yep. Yep. Ooh, I forgot about that. Come on now. Oh. Yeah, big deal, guys. We are at the era. Rat Monster has shown his eyeballs to the world. Look at Jin. He just pointed at us. He said, say no. Who needs Uncle Sam in America? You got Jin from No Era telling you no. I feel like I've owned those Adidas socks before. That V's wearing. Same with Jimin, but I like V's links. Oh, that's why they were there. Oh, I forgot! They were in the dance practice too! Oh, so fun. Yes, look how combative. Yes. Oh, yeah. Rap. Parkour. Yes. They said no. No, yeah, we telling them haters no. Exactly, we love it. At first, it didn't even recall to me that those were dancers. That's so funny. Okay, so with No, I don't have as much, sorry, emotional ties to the song like I do with We Are Bulletproof Part 2 and No More Dream. And so as you can tell, I haven't seen this one nearly as much as I'd seen the other two. So this makes me excited that we get to actually like talk through it. It's a vibe. I like the fact we got dancers in here, and I know that I have a comeback trailer. We got a whole little dance concept shoot coming in hot very soon here. So I'm very excited. I'm ready to dive in. I hope you are. So from the top, I mean, I don't know how you feel about Hoods by Air, which is what the this brand is here. I don't know whose face that is, but it's interesting. Yeah. So good for Rat Monster. This happened a lot sooner than we realized, where, well, y'all probably knew before but yeah, this is now Rat Monster has shown his eyeballs to the world. We're here for it. I like the BTS. When he says BTS, his arms swing up. Everybody's head comes up to match it, to match the same timing. We love that. They come out. Here we go. So they end up going around and back down, which is also really nice. Very fun full squat on that. He says, second bomb. It's a second bomb. Oof. Yes, come on. And look at that. Great range so far, if you're noticing here off in the corners. So they're both leveraging their way onto their respective partners. Their partners catering their way more towards the inside leg so that they can actually like have their body go somewhere. Then you have more mirroring happening. Rat Monster has decided to have the easiest job of them all. Stand there and be intense. We love it. We love all of it. That's great. Sometimes for me, I was talking about that with P1 Harmony. Theo, sometimes, you know, he's not known for being like the heavy dancer in the group, but he still holds his own mighty fine. But there's certain sections you look and go, Theo's probably very appreciative of the fact that he's featured in this moment. He doesn't have to do any of that. That's what that feels like to me. We love it. Anyway, so all of that was really fun on the different levels being represented. We got some airtime. We got some down to the floor. We got a lot of different things that could saturate us, and it was mirrored and balanced, which we really like. So that was cool. So they all go, they drop down inside to outside, and then they actually, just kidding. They went outside to inside. Haha. Oh, hold up. So it actually, no, it didn't. It was neither. I lied to you. It starts from the center people, and then it went to the respective outsides, and then it went to the insides. Very nice. We love that. And that's really kind of cool because they ended up doing like a full jack or full body roll before they reset it down, which is cool. Then they take it, we're holding like we're about to punch, and then we fully punch right there going into the course. Then we go, we hit. I think it was ended up being like a subtle heel dig, wasn't it? Let me see. Yeah, so they heel, and then they ball change it. And then they take car, right? So we take our arm and we drive it like we're driving a car. Then we point. Notice we let our body go with the arm, not just let the arm do it at once. Then we take our arm and we take our hands, we bring them down. Our head is tilted to the side as well. And then we knock it over to the side. Kick, and then we pas de bourrée out of it, and then we end up in that squatted position, and we have our hand. Notice some of us are going more here with the fingers and say, oh, Rat Monster's doing that, but some are giving the impression like if you have your hand on a trigger of a gun, that's where the kind of mannerism that looks like. So it kind of gives that impression like, hey, put your head down and study. They're basically saying, no, I won't, which to me is good for them. Have a brain, have your own line of thinking. And I've really enjoyed the early era BTS for that message they've pushed is you do not have to be somebody that does everything they're told to do because you have to do it. You're allowed to think for yourself. That's great. I love that. I'm always an advocate for that. Yes, that's great. And so going to a ball change there, I like the little subtle boxer bounce with everybody carrying their weight or moving directionally over to that right side. So they pick up the leg, bring it to the back, then they have some separation of the hands, and they make them go in the various directions. I like how we tilt the head as well. Looks great there. And then it goes, ha. It matches his tone very effectively there. Looks great. Then they bring it through. I like that extra press down. Looks really fun. You have the placement of the hand there. Looks great. And then we tap, and we do a little body roll to tap it up through the torso to bring it up to the chest. And then we end up throwing it. So we're always recognizing his hold on his notes, but we're also not ignoring what's happening behind his notes too. So that's great. Then we throw it down. Throw! And then we pick up the leg, and it goes up, and then we drop it. Come on now. And then we bring it up right there by the face, which is also nice. So you have Jungkook as our feature here. And then it ends up doing a little add-on. You got the rest of your dance line, JIMIN and JHOPE joining in here, which is cool. So da-da-da-da. So you have Jungkook matching in the upper body, but his is more of his personal mannerisms. They're doing theirs choreographically, as what you would see. And I like how we have it reset over to the other side. We end up doing a punch over, and we end up turning out of it as well. We end up doubling on the rotation with the shoulder. It looks really nice there. Then we end up doing a slide out to help promote a V formation going in, still maintain Jungkook's feature. So that was nice to incorporate our the rest of our members, but they're still going in their own little world, which is kind of fun. Then they end up, he does a little point. I like that they do a little chug with the back leg. So that'd be their left leg, lifting up that right leg. He's pointing forward. They have their arm across, kind of to shield before they're being offensive, right, to the front. So that was really nice where they had a place for that arm to go. Boom. They had a line, a track for it to enter on. Looks great. Nice little head accent before we go to the back. Then he is still facing front. Everybody ends up turning. And then, who is that? Is that SUGA? Yeah, it is. So I hope you guys heard me when I said that his hairstyle. I'm still thinking about it. And I just think it's so funny because it was how it was permed. It was given like an Ajima energy in such a dope way. I love it. I think part of it was his earrings too. That was just really fun. So I like how he ended up rotating this arm to make it look like they were all this residual effect by him pulling this trigger. They all responded out of it, which was really cool. And they're properly framing him too, which is great. They end up using that moment here. Bring it back. How did they do that? Let me see. Yeah, so they're mirrored, which is nice. You can tell that Jungkook is a little bit up, propped up more. He's not sitting onto his foot, just like I think Jin is right there. I think that's who it is, right? Yeah, Jin is. And so if you notice, Jin had a little bit further to go than Jungkook, but they ended up getting to the right spot at the right time, which is fine. So they ended up holding, and they ended up rotating to face the back. Then you saw SUGA facing us, and then they unrotated to get them back where they were. I like the punch. And you can notice some of Ram Monster's timing is a little bit different than everybody's, which is fine there. I mean, I feel like it's so minimal, but it's still something you can tell based on his shoulders. You can see his shoulders are a little bit off or a little bit too fast, right? So he hits it through. The punch there is fine, and they bring it down. But honestly, Jin and Ram Monster do not stand out nearly as much as when I normally clock a group that has skill discrepancies with members, because I do know we have a rap line, yes, we have a vocal line, we have a dance line, right? So when you have a dance line, that means there's some people who can still hold their own in movement, but they're not as proficient at it in certain genres as those that are considered the dance line for the concept of the group, right? Which is fine. So we're here to see their growth. And I mean, so far, I mean, there's certain things that Red Monster does that I have noticed from the other members, including the dance line. So there's nothing that I'm noticing here that's like, ooh, this is a big issue. It's not. It's so minimal, guys. Like, the fact is, it's the epitome of you get to see their growth by making it look more comfortable on their bodies. They can still get the concept across, right? So it's cool. So they go to the inside, which is nice. So we have one of them prepped up, being used as leverage to get SUGA up, right? So he's propped onto Ram Monster, and then you have them all nice and down, and then you have SUGA up nice and stable. So that's pretty dope, honestly. And they ended up lowering on the tail end of it, providing more dynamics, which was really cool there. Cool. And so they all break away. Now we have it in more like a semi, not really a full V, but a semi V. And then you end up having Rat Monster turn from the side to the front, make it nice and clean. Then you have V, and we end up sliding out of the way. I like me a good speed change, right? And there's something to note in the beginning, first verse with Jungkook. If you noticed that everybody was frozen except for your dance line, that's something I'm picking up on, is there's certain formats where you have some of your members that are frozen in a position while the dance line justifies for a phrase or two. And then you have them join in as an add-on, or there's a dynamic that comes in play that helps introduce them into the group, right? Which I find to be really fun that you notice that, and we have Bulletproof Part 2 and No More Dream, and I'm noticing it here. So I'm curious about if that's going to be like a Song Song-duk kind of fingerprint. So like Mr. Choreographer here, I'm curious if that's like his go-to thing that he does. Now, I also believe, if I'm remembering correctly, I have a feeling there was a demo for this from GRV maybe. Hold on, let me go pull this up. Okay, it wasn't No, it was Boy it's Boy With Love, right? So it's the next one. Got it. Okay. But there's a demo coming. I'm telling you. I'm trying to remember. I remember they went outsourced to GRV for one of them, but it's not this one. Cool. We're here for it. Here we are. So I like the arm placement out and bringing it to the inside and then placing it down. Notice that you have JUNGKOOK. He stayed a little bit higher on the level and everyone dropped a little lower. That was nice and subtle. A really nice way to get him as our feature, because remember, I always say this, just because you're in center doesn't mean we're going to focus on you. If you don't bring the performance or the stage presence like everybody else does, then you may get overshadowed at your own part, which is something we never want to happen. So that was a really nice subtle way for us to clock JUNGKOOK was the feature here outside of just being in center. And so his extra pulse there, which was really nice. Well, not really a pulse, but his extra, that's just deviation, his mannerism to his chest as he threw it was really nice. Everybody's throws are really nice. They do pretty good on being intense, but still being clean, which is really, really impressive. So the shoulders are great. The claps are fun. The switch out here, the switch up of the arms, nice syncopation there with the head to also be included. That's something I do like about the early works choreos is the usage of head. There's so much of it that helps embellish a lot of the movement qualities that they're showing here, right? The movement sequences. So they bring it in 1, 2, 3, those bases. We go and we travel the energy to the inside and everybody say no. So we're throwing using the back, which is really nice. Then so we do a nice little shoulder roll to step back on it. We press out. That little under, boom, and we end up throwing it on that second one more fully. How can you tell? Look at the fringe. So it goes 1, 2, and that second one, you really see that fringe accent, which is fun. And then we bring it forward, bring it up to the head, drop those arms down, head goes down, we swing those arms, da, 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 and then so it goes in, out, and we end up rotating around to tap on those hips. And then you're going to take those arms, we roll. So we have our body rocking back, we have our feet shifting to the outside, and notice that we're ending up twisting onto the heel of the front foot and the toe of the back foot, or ball of the back foot. So if you've ever heard about somebody talking about ball and heel of a foot, where you hear ball change, things like that, there's two different sections of the foot that we reference a lot of times. The heel being that padding in the back of the foot, right, in that little circular space. And then you also have the ball of the foot, which is the padding underneath the toes. And so whenever I say, okay, most of the time you're going to see people place their weight on a heel or on the ball of the foot whenever they make decisions on where their weight goes. And so in some cases, some styles, catering your weight more on the balls of the feet versus in the back where the arch of the foot goes, it's going to cause a different response for your torso whenever you're making certain decisions and movement, which is very fascinating to look through and see how your posture changes just from where your weight goes. So when you look here, whenever they step, they'll have the roll, but you have this little accent happening with the legs. It's because their weight is happening on the heel of one foot and the toe of the back foot. So it is balanced, but also it showcases a sense of variety, and it allows you to kind of stay where you are, which is kind of nice too. We roll and boom, once again, another little accent point going on with the head. They hit it down, we rotate it up. I like how we place it right here. We say no, we're throwing it to the side. Literally, it's a teenage, it's like, it's not a tantrum at all, but that does give tantrum energy, doesn't it? It's like, I'm giving you a broccoli. No, I don't want it. Okay, sorry, I was trying to be helpful. But I know in their case, though, it's not, it's a society that's pushing a narrative that you have to do what I say because I said so. And you don't get to deviate, and you don't get to have dreams, and you have to do what we tell you to do because it's the only way you can live. No, I agree with that. There's so many different ways you can live your life. No. Love it. Anyway, so they go and separate, like they hit and they present out, nice with the head on this. And then bring it down, it goes under, throw it. And you bring it forward, bring it up, and then you drop the hands down, and then the head shoots up. So I've learned this choreo. This is the course I'm most familiar with because my body's familiar with it. But it's still nice and complimentary to all the other things that we see. I do like verse 2. It did catch me off guard. As you noticed, I totally forgot about that moment with Ram Monster. That was really fun. But we take our hands right here on the base of the pant, which is really nice. Body roll. Notice that we have the chest. And then we're in and up having a little punctuation and a little accent point happening with our shoulders, which is really fun. And so we have our arms placed by the base of the hips. And then we open up those arms, which is really nice to see as well. And then we hit. My chest is in opposition position of the direction that my foot is being picked up with. So if I'm picking up, let's say it's their right foot, they're making and they're shifting their shoulders and their chest mostly to the left side whenever that heel of the right foot is to the right side. And then whenever they have it across, they end up switching and neutralizing the position. Then they end up rotating those arms up. You got Rap Monster getting ready from that stage left side. And can I also say too, Jin and Rap Monster are the ones, they dance really similarly, which actually makes a lot of sense why they're each other's mirrors, because I know for me, I tend to put dancers that dance similarly to each other and are similar heights next to each other, because it's going to make the routine more balanced collectively as a group, especially if you're dealing with different skill sets. There's going to be a lot of times in cases when you are a teacher, a dance teacher especially, and you work in a studio setting and you get a lot of clientele with various skill sets. It just happens. And it's actually a really good opportunity for you to grow as a teacher, side note. But in K-pop groups, you operate very similarly. You're going to get a lot of groups that have certain things they mesh well with and other things you have a huge skill discrepancy in. You can make both work. So part of that goes off of balance, is how can you put people who have different strengths and areas of growth, put them in places where you can still see them, they're still set up for success, but it also works well with what you currently have. Like, how are you going to use their toolkits is kind of the best way I would word it. So having them in the back corners, normally people are going to look in the front and going to look near that center spot, which is why a lot of times you see choreographers put the best dancers there. For me, I try to put my best dancers anywhere. Honestly, I actually low-key sometimes strategize by putting them in the corners, because judges know where to look, where they find weak dancers. Like, they look in the corners and they look in the back. They don't look in the front. Judges a lot of times don't. So for me, I beat them at their own game. I put all the best dancers there sometimes. And at the end of the day, the goal is for everybody to be good. So that's why for me, I don't really discriminate on where people go in a formation. But I'm telling you, that's probably why you see Rap Monster and Jen in the back corners more often than not, is because normally that's where you hide people who aren't as refined in certain movement qualities as others. Now you know, so you rock it to the back, and then you go cha, same thing there. They're lower except for Rap Monster. Now he's in center, and they hit it up. Nice little knock accent with the kick is fun. Then they go ka, and then they throw it down, ball change. Boxer bounce with the throw is nice, the separation to the sky. Same thing that we've already seen. Notice they end up flipping the hands, so they have it here, and then they go psych, and then they go the opposite way. Kind of fun. And then they go through, da-da-da, and tap-tap-tap. Now you have the two columns. And then you got JHOPE coming in hot. I love how he knocks it. He goes, and that causes them to separate. They pull, so he matches them. So it's kind of an add-on, or an accented add-on, where he's doing all of it, and they're doing sections of it. So that's really fun. And he ends up doubling that. He knocks it, boom, causes a trigger for everybody to interact, to ingrain themselves, or to cause themselves to subtly transition so everyone can be seen in the spaces. So the goal would be for Jimin and Jungkook. I think Jimin's just a little bit too far to the outside, because you would ideally kind of want there to be Jungkook, and then you have a space in between Jungkook and V, and that would be where Rap Monster goes. You would ideally want Jen to be in between these two, right? So that's why you have JHOPE there, and you can also tell that Jungkook is closer than Jimin is. So that'll be my note there. It's so subtle, though. And I honestly prefer people to commit to their position than for them to like scoot into the correct spot and sacrifice the dynamic that they just did. So I think I'd rather, out of the two options, I'd rather him have stayed there and commit to it and then fix it in the next transition than try to fix it while frozen, if that makes sense. Because some people scoot and you're like, don't move, you know? It just happens. So now we have it in a V with two outliers in the corner. So I love from there, he knocks his head to the side, which causes everybody and their mama to tilt over in the corner. So this is cool. So like the little salute. And then what do they end up doing after that? They hit, and then they pick up the foot. They end up doing a twist onto the heel and the toe of the left foot, the heel of the right foot, and they accent with the arm to the outside. Then they do a little scuff onto the leg, is also really nice. They take the leg, they cross behind to reset out. So now look, it's the same formation, very similar to what you saw earlier, but now the spacing is really chef's kiss. Beautiful. We love that. So the pickup of the foot's great. Guys, range is fantastic on this. Super cool. The kick is nice. They'll drop it down, they take it up, and I like the rotation. J-Hope stays up, everybody else drops lower. It keeps him as a feature by him not having to drop as low, which we really love. They all go to the inside, and I like how he brings his foot up, and as he stomps, it separates, and he's including himself in the circle. So they have twinkling the fingers. Now that can look super weird and super lame, but they do a really good job on being super invested in the moment, and they're letting the fingers do the talking. It's super fun. And he's literally doing nothing. And by him doing nothing, it kind of allows us to really focus on the beauty of these fingers that they're going for, which is super cool. He takes his head, he goes and he accents, and he takes his arms out, and it causes everybody to spread out. Really fun. And they end up switching lines from their windows, and they take the arms up. I like the chest prep. They throw it, and we do a subtle walk. Da 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 da. Notice the fringe. Well, that's the beauty of us not wearing hats, is that you can really see when they're going for it. And that's what the whole early rookie era of most boy groups, they have a lot of intensity in their movement. And then it's nice to see them, you know, it's like puppy energy for dancers. That's what this feels like. I love it so much. But now, they never really chill out, they refine it, and they're very smart in when they choose to go complex and full. Like, they learn where you can settle in it, which is super fun. But I like both, it's fun. Anyway, the intensity is really fun. That really nice, and it looks like they were holding him back a little bit, right? So that was fun. And they hit it. Oh, hold on. Let's see here. So they end up kicking the outside leg behind, taking the opposite arm to rotate it around so it's complementary and opposing sides of the body. That's cool. And they take the arms out, up, in. That's a lot of work. Just wah, ha, ha. A lot of these extremity work. And they are using their back, which is, I give a thumbs up to, because sometimes you see people just not use their back, and you can fatigue yourself so much easier that way. And it's making it harder, not smarter. So they take the arms up, and they take it up, boom, and chunk it down. Come on, Jen! Sorry. They end up sliding to a new spot, just what we've kind of already seen with V, right? So we drop down, so he throws his arm down, nice little pulse on this, we throw it, which is nice. Nice shoulders on this too. They go out in. You know what it is? Okay, so if you look at Red Monster next to Jimin in the corner, you can see it ever so slightly. We'll play it again. You can see he's heavy extremity based, meaning that he's really catering a lot of his movement, a lot of these choices, isolating it to the shoulders. He's not using his back nor his chest to help push energy, to help accentuate these moments in these focal points in the upper body. So if you go back and watch, just right there, you notice it right there between Jimin. And no, it's not because Jimin is showing his shoulders. It's not that. Yeah, so hitting. He has this extra, like, residual. His head kind of just goes with the flow of what's going on. He's not letting the head have its own moment, too, which is so fascinating. It's so cool. They ball change it, dun, 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 so I like the head knock on it, and we take the hand over to the elbow, and we present it over, arms right to the inside, and a lot of times when we talk about power, or force, or energy, and that kind of stuff, we use a fist, because it showcases impact, power, anger a lot of times, it's resistance, right? So that's why you have a lot of fist usage in the choreo, would be my natural assumption for that, because it showcases more power, it showcases a sense of we're in this together, and suck it, kind of like that. So now we go outside to inside, same thing as before. We have that no, we're all spread out. These are honestly, Jungkook's got a ton of lines in these tracks for a lot of individuals, and also too he has he can handle rap lines and vocal lines, so he's able to cross between the two early, which is really fun. So you have everybody grab their mouth again, subtlety with a big throw, down up, which is nice. Swing, swing, swing. We roll, same thing, notice heel toes. Now the dancers are like, oh, I hope my feet aren't asleep, because that would be me. I'm telling you right now, I would be that person whose feet would be falling asleep, being squatted down there for that long. But they didn't ask me, right? They hit it over, same choreo as before, clear lines. They're being the same, consistent with the intensity both times. That's always your goal. You either want to match and excel. You never want to go the opposite. You never want it to regress in energy, especially if it's the same setup or same phrasing. Unless the intention is in your concept, we're slowly dying off, then yes, make it look more and more depleting. But the opposite needs to happen in most cases, especially in a track like this. So they do very well with that. Body roll, we roll. Get it? We roll like you're rolling. right? But they're rolling their chest, which is fun. Okay, we have other dancers coming from who knows where. Like there's probably a door or a hallway. Good for them for being able to be there. And then bless these other guys, they had nowhere to go, so they had to squat behind the bar stools. Anyway, but notice they're in a straight line. It actually low-key can cover up your dancers in a cool way, so they're like surprises, which is exactly what we got to see. Now, enter the dancers. So we have the no, and they walk. Jimin is looking at us like we're about to do a dance break. Come at us. And then we have this militant dance on tempo. I love this will tie into, I feel, that they have another trailer concept shoot that this feels very similar, right? So I love that kind of hear like these pistons fire. That seeing that on the sides is really cool. I love that. The looks are nice. Everybody say no. They slide in. I love that. So they go, they take it, throw. And I really like that you have BTS also catering it with their bodies too as they switch it to the back, which is really cool. So I like how they slid back. And then you have your other dancer slide to the back. They kick them. Come on now. And they say, everybody say no. And I really like from here, we're actually grabbing the members. And you see there's the space in between the dancers that each member was able to go through, and that was a really fun way to get them to go behind the dancer so the dancer can cleanly grab them to a very nice, it's just a clean transition to where you don't see them reach across, you see them just naturally grab a hold so they can pull them back without it taking away from the visual. That's cool. And then you have Jimin in the back, taking a break, taking a nap. We love it. This opposition with the cross step. And then you're having this opposition where they have a little hook across. If you forget that choreo, you're going to get punched in the face. So I have had dancers getting hit before, who have gotten hit before because they forgot their cue and their timing. Timing for these kind of cases, regardless of how fluent you are in dance, you have to have your brain turned on, no matter how simple or complex something is. Some people like to turn the brain off during these sections, and I tell them, no, turn it on. Because the moment you shut your brain off and you do not go down on a 5, when you need to swing down so your dancer partner can hook across and not hit you in the face, because they're going to feel bad and you're going to feel bad and embarrassed of the fact that you got sucker punched by your dancer when you could have just remembered your counts. So good for that. So they go back and they go, they hit accent 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And then they grab the arm out, which is good. So now the dancer can grab. And I like how there was a look that happened, even though it was really quick. They looked at the dancer who grabs their wrist. So it feels like we're having a conversation where I'm dodging you, you grabbed me. Oh no, we turn in, their arms are out, the dancers have now grabbed them by the base right above the elbows, not on the elbow. I always advise, whenever I train teachers or we have assistants and we train them on how to spot in acro skills. It's a very fascinating thing, but there's a point to it. Whenever you're holding an extension or you're helping somebody in a bridge or you're helping them with something that has multiple joints in play, you want to be very mindful of, if I'm holding a leg, I don't want to hold it by the knee. I hold it by either where the femur is or I hold it by the calf. I don't hold by the knee because the knee is bendable, right? Just like I don't hold a dancer by the base of their spine. Well, not base of it, but like by the spine. I'm going to hold it by the pelvis or where the shoulder blades are, because that's stronger and it's more consistent of a base and it's not as movable or it's not as bendable, right? So I'm not going to hold somebody by the elbow. I'm going to hold here or here because this doesn't bend. This does. So this is going to give me a stronger base for me to hold. So, and support. That's the big thing, is to be support. So they take it, and whenever they press down, you're going to have a cleaner line that way too. So bring it behind, which is cool. And so they go, head snaps up, and then they bring their arms up to behind the head, and then they take their arms, instead of tapping, they hit an accent in front to get them down. So now they've surrendered, or it looks like they're surrendered. Jimin said, no! And they said, okay, we took all 6 of them. And Jimin's like, you're not gonna take me. And they're slowly going, they're slowly moving. But then look, our 6 Power Rangers, they said, we weren't actually bound, suckers. AKA the dancers are terrible police officers. They do not know how to actually restrain. So anyway, so they kind of did it to themselves, dancers. Anyway, but now you have all of them coming to Jimin's aid, and they're like, what? And then you have them all set up in front. Look at this lift, parkour. And then you have a little speed change. Dancers are like, whoa. Then you have your members, whoa. It's just fun. It's just really fun. Anyway, and then I believe that's this 540 I think it's what we've called that. And notice he did it as like a little fixed point where he took one of the legs, he fixed it where it was. I bet you there is a martial arts equivalence of that in terminology. If you want to tell me, I would love to hear it. It's totally great. But I love that the dancers all dropped to the ground whenever he landed. The members are like, haha, boom. Everybody say no. Haha, you cannot restrain the Bangtan bulletproof Boy Scouts. And the dancers are all on the floor. That was so fun. And I really I think it's so fun because of how action-packed you can make it, you know? So I had a lot of fun just watching this. And the dancers coming in. It was always a nice little surprise. Now we have a little behind the scenes here. Shout out to Bangtan subs. This is like pretty much the go-to video source because it is very nostalgic for me to go from Bangtan subs again. So it kind of feels like I'm giving credit where credit is due for my personal nostalgic journey on seeing them. And their translations tend to be pretty good, so it's good. Wait, now it's everybody say no. Everybody say no. Look at that. Aw. Powerade. That's cool. I love it. Yep. You use hair dryers to keep you cool. Sweaty. Sweat, sweat, sweat. Na, 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 na. Go. Everybody say no. Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Where they can't be seen on camera. Yep. I'm not Jimin if I get tired from this degree of dancing. I know, right? Woo, boy! Oh man, I'd be like, oh, they get so sweaty on set. I have to fix their hair every 3 to 5 minutes. I love those glasses. Hold on. Oh, I gotta screenshot him. Bloop. For me. For later.
안무 중에 우리 공부하는 기계로 만든 건 누구 할 때 이제 기계를 만들어요 저희가. 이제 딱 우리 공부 안에 이렇게 나오겠다. 그 부분이 약간 포인트 안무입니다. 우리의 섹시한 안무.
Now we roll, we roll. So giddy, so fun. Love it. Oh, those dancers, they're like covered. They must be hot in those. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Oof. Yay. Good for them. Hold on, is that? No, it is. Yeah, aesthetically. And that was fun. I really enjoy looking at this kind of stuff. You guys have no idea. As you can tell, like, I'm so giddy about all this. It's so long. It's so long. I'm so happy. Oh man. If you want more, you guys know it's coming. We're right in the thick of a marathon on 방탄소년단, and we have hundreds more pieces of material to observe, to enjoy. We have, it's just, I don't know if you guys are ready for the amount of just analysis and deep dives we're going to continue to unfold on this. This is really enjoyable. I think for me, I may be more excited when I encounter a track I don't know, which is going to be really cool because then it'll be a nice little first watch, 100% first watch versus a revisit, you know? But I enjoy this a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.